Kia ora and hello again, and welcome back to part 2 of my tutorial, should I say. This is Captain Willie Carter speaking. This is in relation to the CLS DC10 Series 30 and 40 me FSS simulator people, or who love flying with FSX Steam or Flight Simulator, are having trouble trying to get this big bird off the runway, and they intend to have it stalled. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call up Control Tower and get us some clearance, and we'll be on our way shortly. It's an impeccable aircraft, beautifully. It was the most advanced aircraft of its time back in the 1970s and 80s. Unfortunately, the DC-10 is now extinct and is no longer flying the skies of the globe. Okay. Just before I go, now this is the important issue that I've got with people. Okay, just before we take off, we've got the APU. We must switch it off. Okay, and up here, switch off the generators, or you're going to stall, or you're going to stall your aircraft. Okay, now at the moment we're on 23 left on the taxiway, and we have a Boeing 737 in front of us. So I'll just try and get hold of Control Tower to allow us to keep going. Okay, I just have to select runway 5 right. Okay, we're here now. Sorry about that. If you push F11, this will keep your aircraft very still on the ground. Okay, I'm looking at the Manukau Harbour at the moment. We're on runway 5 right. I'm just going to try and grab hold of tower so we can take off. Okay, we've got it. Okay, so hang on to your seatbelts. We're going to get going. So we'll bring the aircraft up to full throttle, and away we go. Makes an impeccable sound. It's fantastic. We need to get to a speed of at least 160 knots to get off the runway. Just make sure that the runway that you choose actually has that. Sorry about the okay, we're just about, now we'll pop her off, get her up in the air, just gently hoist her off. There she goes. And if you've got a joystick, whoop, getting a bit of wind shear there. Okay, you push the throttles back up, get the landing gear in, and as you can see, we're just about getting up there. Okay, we're getting to 1,000 feet now. Now what I've done here is, as you can see, my flaps are still down. So what we want to do, we want to keep climbing up. So you bring the flaps right up. Over here, we're going to have to switch to our cruise speed now. So, and then we'll bring her up to 325 knots. We'll just keep going out past the ILS. Okay, just have a look here. This is where we are here. See how the ILS runway, this is the GPS. We've actually left Auckland. So we really want to keep our heading. If we don't, things can happen. Alright, so there's Manukau Harbour in the background, Auckland Airport. We're on our way, and you can see further south. I'll just get out of Auckland again. What you got to do is really try and stay at an altitude. See, the aircraft didn't stall because I only used 15 to 20 degrees flaps, but you must put them in once you get to about 700 feet. You can see the beautiful Waitemata Harbour over here, Auckland City, and as we come this way, Rangitoto, and we're looking at the Coromandel and the Thames area. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so now we're at our cruising speed. And there's Auckland Airport in the background. So this is really how you do these things with this big airliner. So just be very careful what you're doing. Just turn off your call buttons. And do not, whatever you do, switch off or switch on your APU. Okay, what we might do, we might go to the right, I think. Here we go. So now we're turning. You can see Manukau Harbour there, and just across there in the background, that's Raglan towards Huntley and Hamilton. Okay, I'm going to just go back here, and we're going to increase the altitude. So we're going to try and go up to 21, and okay, we need to set the vertical speed, so again 1800 feet, and we'll let the aircraft take its course. Okay, she'll level out. And now we're looking at Thames, the Coromandel area.
And I have no idea how to change the fonts in this.
It's a beautifully designed aeroplane. Pity it wasn't still flying, but there, as I know, there's only the cargo version, the FedEx operate them. I think they're the only ones, and the MD-11s, which is the stretched version of this aircraft, is operated by UPS, United Parcel Services. Okay. So what we might do now, again, we're going to change the heading. Goodness. God. And we'll just tilt her over a bit more. There we go. And bank her over to the right. And we're at flight level 8000 at the moment. We want to keep away from Auckland Airport. So we head towards the Hamilton region. As you can see, this is Huntley and all that over there. This is the inlet to the Waikato River, and that's the Tasman Sea, and the Manukau Harbour and Auckland Airport in the background there. Okay. we just might see if we can just come down this way. I'm going to change the heading a bit. Here we go. And in the background here, this is Hamilton, New Zealand. It's gorgeous the way that I've done this. Very, a lot of pilots really love this bird, this DC10. Air New Zealand had 8 of them originally, but unfortunately one crashed, and it was only 4 years of age, ZKNZP, where 257 lives were lost. And this wasn't due to the aircraft either. It was found that the wrong flight plans had been put in. They'd actually put in a training flight plan and sent it 1 mile off course and slammed it into a mountain, killing everybody on board. Air New Zealand have an impeccable record, a good safety record, and they have highly maintained aircraft. Okay, so there's Hamilton, New Zealand there. This is Huntly and the Waikato River. Okay, so now I've got that all sorted. I hope you enjoy it. Just always keep an eye on your aircraft. Make sure your GPSs are running. Make sure these are never shut down in flight unless you want to shut them down. One other thing I can just say, these are the reasons why your aircraft is stalled. Okay, during flight you can shut these down. Yeah, these preserve engines. This is number 2, the tail. Okay, you can turn the fuel off and the fuel will run from these 2 engines, but keep an eye on the fuel gauge, because when it comes time to when these ones run out, it takes quite a while. You can flick these back on and then transfer them over to this, so because that's your reserve tank in the middle of the aircraft. Okay, wonderful. Okay, now we're on our way to Christchurch, and we're just going over Hamilton Way now, and you can see right in the background Mount Egmont, and this is Raglan Harbour here. What I might do, we can veer off. I might veer off to the left.
I get why you need a bold aerial. Yeah, but there's a thing called sizing. You can just size it bigger.
And there we go. Now we're going to fly directly over Hamilton, New Zealand. Well, I hope you enjoyed part 2 of my CLS DC10 for stalling issues. You shouldn't have any problems now, but just look at the videos properly. And if you have any problems, just comment, let me know, and I'll be in touch with you. Okay.
Did they like get a Polish person to do that?
And there's Hamilton City. Okay, people, have a good day. Haere mai to you. Hau Māori, which means goodbye.